Yes.
Okay, I'm so happy we're together. Thank you again for your patience today. So let's begin, my friends. We'll start today back on our yoga mats. Let's just do a little warm up with our feet wide. So this will be what I like to say is a Tai Chi inspired warm up. And then we'll slowly move into the requests, definitely hitting wrists up soon here. As we take our feet like pretty wide, it should feel like you might actually start slipping a little bit that wide. We'll bend into our right knee and make sure the knees stay behind the toes. Slide to the left, knees behind your toes. Just take a couple more like that. Move into your legs, coming out of our seat from today, leaving behind everything that brought us up to this point in the day. Kudos to you for getting to your workout today. After you've taken a few swishes, especially if you have tight hips, that might be a little challenging. So we'll come back to the center. Soften our knees and stand up, reaching to the sky. Big breath in. As you bend your knees, reach the fingers down, cross your wrists, and try that again. Inhale, rise. Bringing ourselves to our yoga class with some breath connection. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, release. I love a good open mouth exhalation, especially in the beginning of class, so you can get rid of any old stale energy. As you exhale this time, let's stay low. Just give your arms a little swish around. Wiggle out through your toes, widening the balls of your feet so you feel a really strong foundation. We'll reach our arms to the sky, making soft fists, and take a gentle roll, but a really big roll. Slow. It's soft. We're being kind to our bodies, but we're really trying to find full range of motion in our wrists here. If your legs get tired, feel free to stand. Switch your direction. Taking another roll or two. If there's some area that feels quite tight or unreachable, pause in that section. Just take a little funny movement through your wrist. Clasp your hands behind your low back. Kick your heels out. Your toes turn in a little bit. We'll stretch up with a baby back bend and then fold forward. Now, my friends, take a tiny fold because this one's going to be tough. We don't have any arms. Stretch your knuckles to the sky. If it feels too challenging for the beginning, bring your hands underneath your nose. Let's try another big breath in here, moving into your hamstrings a little bit. When you're ready to exhale, bring your thumbs to the small of your back. Hinge halfway to the sky. Bring your hands to your hips and rise. Turning toes back out, heels back in. Bend to your right knee. Let your arms fall. Sweep your left arm up, down, and around. Same thing other way. Reaching the opposite arm for these beautiful shoulder circles. Trying to bring some mobility into our lives today. Once we get the hang of our movement pattern, let's take a big inhale for one side lunge. Exhale the opposite way. Try a few more. We'll all move at our unique breath pace today. One more each way like this. Find a big sweep to the sky, both arms reaching up. This time as we fall down to our squat, we're finding an angry cat back. As we cross our wrists, we rise back again. And trickle the fingers down your midline. You can even wiggle them a little bit if that feels good. Sweep the arms up for an inhale. An angry cat back, like you're hugging a huge barrel as you fall down through exhale. Inhale back to the sky. Fingers float down your midline. Maybe a little wiggle of your jazz fingers. Sweep on the inhale. Exhale. Rise and shine on the inhale. Exhale, release. Last time, big, beautiful breath in. Eyes follow fingertips. Little balance challenge when we do so. Exhale, release. Right forearm finds your right thigh. It's okay if that's too high. Use your hand. Take a little side bend over to your right. Stretch left fingers long and loose. Windmill the arms to switch. Left forearm or hand down. Reach up and overhead, breathe into your right side body. One more each way. Big inhale, the windmill. Exhale as you reach. All the way back through the center. As we reach our arms to the sky, turn toes in, walk heels in. A little toe heel all the way in. I love that movement. Let the arms fall, and we'll take our toes, give them a little turn under, roll your toes under the ball of your foot. Give yourself a break, stretching the top of your ankles, relaxing your toes. Ah, so nice. I like to wiggle a little bit on each of them. All right, let's move a bit here. Yogis, we're gonna take our left knees towards our chest. Start to release in the front of our hips, our left hip flexors. Give it a nice squeeze. Little balance challenge in the beginning. We'll sweep that heel towards your butt. Get your knees side by side the best you can, and then tuck your tailbone down. We'll feel a little bit more of an opening on the front of our hip and lengthening through our back body, through the low back. Take another breath in, tuck tail again. Well done. Scoop that left knee back up, hug, but open your right arm this time. Take a little journey out to the sides here. Swivel around here and there. There's really no rhyme or reason. We're just trying to snuggle our hips deeply into their sockets here. Visuals definitely help. I like to envision that little ball snuggling into the socket. Get it in there nice and snuggly, nice and cozy. And when you're done, feel a little buzziness in that hip. We'll let it release. Maybe even give it a shake out. Shake everything out. Scoop up through your right knee. Releasing to begin, front of hip. Quad stretch, heel towards your butt, knees connect. And then we'll tuck tailbone. Standing tall. Beautiful. Tuck tailbone again. Breathe into your right thigh. Big, beautiful breath. Don't worry about those wiggles. Balancing is always challenging. We have a big balancing today. That's why I wanted to warm up with some. Scoop up your right knee. Give it another big hug. Open your left arm for balance and move as you please here. I like to do a little opening and closing, but we're really listening to our hips. So if it feels wonky in one spot, maybe we went a little too far. Might like to lift and lower or circle around in certain locations. Sometimes it all feels good and sometimes it all feels really cranky. That's the best part about our yoga mats is they're here for us no matter what mood, what 99 problems we bring to the mat. Big squeeze back to center when you're done and release. Give it a little shake out. Well done, my friends. Arms rise. Take a huge lift to the sky. Pat yourself on your back with your left hand. Oh, I meant your right hand, excuse me. And your left hand holds the point of your elbow. Yogis, we're gonna try to keep reaching down the back by putting a little pressure on this elbow point. If you can, you'll try to hook left forearm behind your skull, giving you a better advantage, lifting and lengthening by pushing head back into arms. Stay right here, or option with me, step right leg, big step behind the left. Up we go through the chest and a tiny side bend. If you add that on, I encourage you to look down towards the floor between your toes. Take a little pressure out of the low back here. Through the center, stay with the arms, but uncross your legs. And this right hand that's behind your head, we're gonna try to grasp it with our left. Let your left elbow come down towards your ribs and hang a little extra heavy in that right shoulder. That's a big stretch, right? Try not to drop the eyes down too low. Keep them forward if you can, helping the arms stretch open. As you release your fingers, slowly sweep the arm down. It could feel pretty intense, and we'll take it for a few rounds of circles back, the easier way. And if you're brave, circles forward. All right, nice job. Give a little shimmy again. Pat yourself with your left hand now. As the right hand finds the elbow point, try to hook that forearm and keep stretching your left fingers down your spine. Head pushing back to help us get a bigger stretch. Oh, this is pretty nice. If you're loving life, stay here. If you want a little bigger, we'll take the left foot behind, big curtsy. And as you lean to your right, I request, I invite you to look down between your toes. toes. Take the pressure off your low back here. Through the center, uncross legs only, keep your arms. Release right fingers and try to get a hold. Can you see those fingers there? Get a hold of your left fingers. Elbow will rise, and then we'll tuck it down to be heavy. Whew, and you try to take the pressure off by looking forward. We're gonna make it a little more intense. Eyes forward or up. Maybe one more inhale, and we'll shake loose on our exhale. Whew, all right, once that arm releases, I might not be ready to shake just yet. Give it a few rolls, bring it back to life. If you feel like you could go forward, let's check out our mobility in that direction. No judgments or criticisms, just seeing where we are. Shake it, shake it, shake it. All right, oh my gosh, do you guys remember the Outkast song that used to say, shake it like a Polaroid picture? Well, teenagers don't know that one, and I said it the other day, forward fold, and they were like, what are you talking about? And I felt really old. Forward fold, my friends. This is one that's gonna get us into our hammies, so let's bend our knees really deeply to accommodate tightness, not just in the legs, but in our back body as a whole. As we progress, we'll try to invite the kneecaps to rise higher towards the thighs. For now, we're taking good care of our knees. One more big breath in here. And exhale. Well, let's get a move on. Right leg will slide or step back. We're staying elevated today. Press through the front foot and rise overhead. High lunge, bending through the right knee, the back knee, and then straightening it. Take a little bend, a little straighten. Just easing in and out of our lunge. Floating ourselves back up to a wide pyramid pose, both legs semi-straight. If it's too intense as we descend, you bend your front knee especially, even more. I like hands to hips. If you feel like it's okay for your left leg, we find hands to floor. While we sink into pyramid, your back heel is lifted because we had a lunge first. Try to push back with that right foot. Find more calf stretch there. Who's breathing? Big stretches sometimes make us hold our breath. So we're aware of that. We release any grip, any tension. Rebend your left knee, let your right knee fall, and we're gonna work on the wrists again here. Come to tabletop. Once you do, right fingers swivel any way, yogis. That can be out to the right, into the left, or facing your right knee. You make a good decision for you. Exhale, round into angry cat. Use the tops of your feet to push down. Inhale, tuck your toes and use those babies to help you scoot up. Open your belly, lift your tail and eyes just to the sidewall. Try not to look up too high. Exhale, flatten the tops of your feet, push, push. Inhale, tuck your toes and open the front body. Let's go one more round. Big back body opening. Feel free to wiggle or shimmy in any position that feels good today. Inhale. Neutralizing your spine. As we come back forward with the right fingers, your wrist can feel really tender. If you're noticing that, push the back of your hand down for a sec. Stretching the opposite way and letting the inner wrist have a moment to recover. If it's still really tender, you can use your fist, yogis, knuckles down, but if you do that, you have to do both hands. All right, make a good decision. We're finding a plank, stepping back to plank. You can do all the way through your chaturanga on those knuckles if you chose them. Lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Hips high, you might like to wiggle or shimmy here. I pedal out, alternating knees, bending and straightening. Most importantly, every time we find a shape, you just do in that shape what feels good for your body. A lot of times that's just holding stillness and breathing. Come on forward, find your chaturanga, releasing your body to lie flat on your belly, but elbows hug your ribs as you descend. Reaching all the way back, fingertips towards your toes, flare open in the front body. Could you clasp your hands behind your low back? Try to send your knuckles all the way back towards your heels. One more inhalation here. Exhale, find a soft release. Let go of your backside. Hands by your ribs, face soft. Press back child's pose, walking your hands far forward, but yogi's choice of knees, together or wide, whatever feels great for you. Let's get so energized in our fingers reaching that our feeling is like an elbow lifting, hollowing of the armpits. We feel lots of length in the underarms. Scoot on forward to your tabletop again, and let's move our left finger somewhere new and interesting. I like to try all the spots and figure out which one's best for today. Rolling up for an exhale to begin angry cat style. Tuck your toes, push through to cow pose. Can you try to drop shoulders and lift earlobes? Really feel that stretch open. As we come into cat, look up towards your navel, rounding even more deeply. Inhale, cow pose. One more round, yogis, unless you love it, and then continue for as long as your body's asking. Once you find a neutral spine, swivel left fingers back forward. Take that counter stretch, back of hand down if you feel like it would serve you. You're welcome to use your fists for this moment that we're holding our planks. Come up when your wrists feel ready. Take a big breath in. Pushing back to down dog, we definitely have to flatten our palms. So we'll take a breath in and out through your dog, movement or stillness. Next inhale, come with me, yogis, rolling forward, plank position. As you descend, elbows hug your body, staying really strong in the backs of our arms. Send the toes far, reach fingers even further, stretch back to reach past your baby toes. Uplift heart. I like to make it my goal, if you can get your top ribs lifted, try to lift the second. If that's lifted, try to get the third. Big lifts here. Exhale, extended child, same as before. Really stretch up in the armpits, under the elbows, maybe even your palms. Tense this time. Palms come flat. Let's find our down dogs again. Lifting through the right leg this time. Three-legged dog. Take a big breath to the sky. Look forward towards your thumbs. And as you step through there, just make sure that you feel strong in the right leg. Heel under knee is usually a good standing point. We'll rise up with a little bend of our left knee. Ooh, wiggly. When you find the wiggles, just be patient. Stay with yourself. Find your breath. Try not to get discouraged. A little bend in your left knee, a little straight in the left knee. You can just bend the front knee and straighten it as well, but we're trying to sink and rise through this first lunge. Great for opening up our hips, especially if we try to tuck that back tailbone like we did earlier. Next time we get to pyramid, please hold. I know it's wide. If you feel like your foot is slipping, you're most welcome to step forward. You find what works for you. Find a halfway fold. That feels all right. Start reaching your fingers towards the ground and see if you'd like to descend over your right knee. Lots of loving breaths through that right hamstring, back of your thigh, and the same amount of appreciation and attention going towards that left calf. Really try to push down through your back heel here. Quality breaths, really easy and long. Rebending your right knee and sliding or stepping your back leg forward to fold when you're ready. Hang heavy over your knees, bend them as much as your body's asking for. Next inhalation, let's roll ourselves to rise. Welcome back, yogis. Awesome job. Big inhale. Keep the arms up. If it's really challenging, move them somewhere new, but we're gonna sit in chair. Options for the arms. They can go anywhere, even goalpost arms. It's fun to try to figure out what arms you want to do today. Lift up through your left heel. Soften it down as you lift your right heel. Left heel. Right heel. Both heels down. Reach your fingertips down towards the floor. Everyone, please. Can you sink so low in chair that your fingers touch the floor? Re-rise them anywhere. I'm going to keep mine forward for this one. Very challenging squat. Forward fold when you're ready. Kudos, yogis. Hard work there. Left leg takes the long slide or step back. Foot is flat for warrior one, meaning our chest and hips are attempting to roll towards the right foot. I've been working a lot on warrior 1.5, we call it. Rather than being open to the side in warrior two, or all the way forward in one, you're somewhere in the middle. So much easier, less pressure, right? I like it too. Come up with the arms. But we worked on those heel lifts for the purpose of lifting now. Lift your right heel if you'd like. Be aware of the ball of your foot. It's wide, it's soft, it feels very stable. We're not clawing down with our toes. Yes, really nice. That sense of lightness in your toes is so liberating. One more big breath in here. You've got this. Let the right heel fall. Wrap eagle arms. Right arm under the left. You can give yourself a hug, reaching for your shoulder blades, or press the backs of your hands together. Elbows will rise off your chest for big, full belly breaths. Lift your back heel. This turns into a lunge. And we'll step forward, yogis. But as you do, cross right away for full eagle. Step forward, lift your left knee, cross over. Sink down in your legs and up in your elbows. Very nice. Keep these arms, eagle arms stay. Unwind your leg, press back, airplane body. That left leg is extending behind you. Eagle arms stay for one more breath. Tap slowly down, find warrior one, lower body again. Untangle your arms and let them fall. That was good work. Proud of you. Find a lunge, back heel lifts. Push back, downward facing dog. Shake, shake, rattle, and roll, yogis. Get all that out. I like to look under my elbows, a little side to side stretch of your neck. On the inhale forward, let's bring it into our plank position. Please, everybody, drop your knees. Modified plank, not table this time, meaning knees are diagonal from shoulders. Cool. Right heel swivels behind your knee, and we roll open to modified side plank. Elevate your left leg. Now, this might be where you stay. This is wonderful. Or you can tap the foot behind you. You can bend the knee as well. Modified flip dog. One more big breath in, big chest opener. Try to make sure your right shoulder's far from your earlobe. It's rolled back and down. Come back into your side plank. Eyes down, left hand down. Find your kneeling, right heel behind the knee. Doing the same on the left. So I'll show you from the back in case that was confusing. Lower left leg swivels behind left knee. Right arm and right leg extend. We lift the right leg for sure, working on the outer hip strength and mobility. And if you'd like, you can keep the leg straight and tap, or you can bend it, which is what I like to do, and tap almost where your left foot is. Lifting up for your modified flip dog. One more big breath. We're pulling that bottom shoulder away from the earlobe, trying to roll it back and down. Eyes down, right hand down. As you swivel back to kneeling plank, heels are behind your knees. Lift on up for downward facing dog and shimmy that out. Great job, yogis. Come forward when you're ready. Plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Reach back again, like you're gonna reach past your toes. It's an infinite reach. Elevating as much of your ribs as you can. And your toes this time are invited for full locust. So what are we doing here? We are squeezing our back body. We're strengthening. We're opening our heart, smiling in the collarbones. One more breath. Press back, child's pose. Find that extension to really stretch. If you'd like to join me, I like to roll my hips side to side. Your belly rolls over your thighs. It feels like a little massage for your stomach. Those back bends are challenging, so you deserve to just stretch out after that. On any subsequent inhale, let's slide hands back forward, finding our downward facing dogs. Take a lift of your left leg, a little bit or a lot. I like to lift mine as high as I can. My hip opens, it's all good. Find a hip stretch that feels great. Look forward and step to a comfy spot for you. Remembering safety, heel under knee is usually a smart alignment. Back foot flat. And as we rise, will it be a warrior 1 or a 1.5? They are all welcome. See how it looks like I'm on a tightrope right now? Can you see? That's a super challenging warrior 1, but if you look at it in the textbook, that's what you'll say. So I prefer to make mine a little wider. I always find more swivel ability this way. Draw your lower belly in, and would you like to lift your left heel? Why not? Remember though, our toes are liberated, the ball of our foot feels really soft and wide. You don't need those toes. Allowing left heel to melt. Left arm under right eagle hug, or backs of hands pressing together. Notice how right away your arms are down. It's really hard to breathe into your lungs. They're all smushed. So we're gonna lift up through the elbows, working our back a bit more. Lift up through our right heels. We came to lunge. 3, 2, 1, don't think, just go, yogi. Step forward for eagle. Sink hips, lift upper body. Huge breath in, you can do this. During the exhalation, untangle right leg, push straight back, find an airplane with eagle arms. I believe in you. It's not easy, but together we can get through anything. Tap your right foot down, land it back in your warrior 1. Take one more big lift of elbows off of your chest. Open as you exhale, let the arms release. Woo, that one makes you sweaty, doesn't it? Lift your right heel again, land back in lunge. Step forward this time. Hang heavy through your forward fold. On your rise this time, if you'd like to join me, we can do a little circling for the low back. Circling your nose around your toes like you're making a C shape. Drawing navel up and in, and then you'll just do that as you rise. Super slow lift to the sky. Rolling all the way up to the tip top. Taking one more round of balance. Inhale, arms rise. And we're gonna break the balance up today because like I told you, it's gonna be a doozy. I know you can do this. Wider feet are more stable. Closer, more challenging. Heels will rise, both of them. Starting with a tried and true, but darn if it's not my favorite balancing pose. Bend your knees as much as you can. Sweep your hands behind you. They're wide like a V still. Diver's pose. Draw your belly in, and then we're gonna try to halfway fold while the heels stay lifted, while the knees stay bent. And the thinking here is that your little toes are over the edge of a dock, but you want to look under the dock before you jump in. Make sure there's nothing creepy under there. Inhale, re-rise. Keep your heels lifted if you can. Yes, we're wobbling. We're stronger for it. Let your heels fall. Let your arms fall. Shake that out. All right. That was just the warm-up. Let's bring our arms to the sky so we don't use them. Lift your left heel at a minimum, and then start to open and close your left leg. And you can do it higher too, whatever feels good. We're prepping for tree. Might want to move a little bit through your left ankle if it feels like it needs some tick-tocking or circling. We're going to keep it really still in a moment. So when you find that warmth buzzing in your hip, you know you're ready. Landing anywhere. Our instinct is to lift with our hand, but we're gonna try not to do that. That's our ego taking over. Let your foot land anywhere it wants to. Soften your right knee and give some feedback with that right leg, like you're smushing the two together. Beautiful. Let your left arm fall, floats over the leg. Think like a ballet dancer. That's what I feel like when I do this one. Reach right arm over for side bend. And you will wobble, but you can do this. Eyes look towards your left fingers. Notice how open you are on the right side of your body. Come back to me. Hold that tree pose, yogis. Yes, you can. Lean to your right. Let your left leg escape. Find star pose. Let your right fingers fall. Eyes look towards your right fingers. Just think of it as a neck stretch. But moving our eyes really challenges balance. Open back to me. Rise and shine. One more big left knee lift. Hug it for quad stretch. I know, but this is our last pose. It's challenging. If you're finding too much heat in the grounded leg, drop it, shake it, come back to me. I'm going to show you from the side. You stay where you are. Our normal quad stretch, we hold the outer foot. If possible, try to walk over your toes to the inner foot. Notice that your shoulders very happy and open there. Okay, so we're going to kick up now. Take a little kick into your hand. Kick, kick, like you're trying to escape this hold. Reach right fingers away as we hinge any degree forward for dancer's pose. We're thinking long between fingers and toes and rising skywards. Some folks like to try to take the right hand around the low back and really square up the hips. That's very challenging to do. I like my hips to feel open, so I'm going to stay here. One more breath, yogis. Releasing as slowly as you can when you're ready. And we'll do some back strokes, especially for your left arm, because it was holding that dancers. So even if you want to do just your left arm, that's okay. Oh, it feels better. How about that right leg? Did it release? Give it a shake. Standing leg works the hardest, doesn't it? Glute power. Well done. All right, let's flow before we do any of that again. Arms rise, inhale. Coming down to your exhale, forward fold. Pause for a moment, yogis. Check in. Remember your first forward fold? Felt so tight, right? Do you feel any different now? It's okay if the answer is no, but usually after 3 or 4, they feel a little looser. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. We're stepping both legs back, so you choose which one leads. Find your downward facing dog. Take your stroll on forward to plank position. Exhale through chaturanga. Full locust, yogis, or you can certainly stay with just your upper body lift. We're going to keep reaching for the pinky toes today, opening our chest, coming out of our work crunched, hunkered over type of posture. Big inhale here. Left to right, breathe wide. Press back, downward facing dog. All right, let's pause in dog, but remember how we just did our modified flip dog. Down on our knees, we flipped over to the side. Revisit that, yogis, or we're coming into our 3-legged dog and fully flipping. Our left leg will be the riser. So if you're modifying, you're going to keep your right knee down, heel behind your right knee. For those of us up in 3-legged, heel to butt, knee opens to the left side. Get tented on your left fingertips and ask yourself, do I trust this posture? Do you think you could start to drop your left toes back behind you, elevating your left fingers skywards, or maybe to the base of your skull, whatever feels good. Bringing your eyes back down, hand back down, we unflip just the way we came. Press away with your left legs, drop them down, and if you were in modified, please come up to down dog with us. Take a peek on forward, and let's journey there together. Tiptoe, step, step, or bend your knees and hop. Rolling yourself to rise. Take a clasp of your hands in front of your heart. That's tough on the right wrist when you do your flip dog. Well done. A little figure 8 here. Another way to release your wrists, putting the backs together, thumbs face your body, and literally just letting them like fast forward pendulum, little tick-tock. Oh, that's nice. But you really push into the backs of the hands here so you feel that stretch. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Ready for those balances? Yes, you are. I know you're saying no, you're not, but yes, you are. Pull your right heel to your butt, regular quad stretch to start. And if your balance is wobbly, move your left arm somewhere helpful. All right, let's swivel hand to hold inner foot if possible. It's okay to do dancers on the outer foot if that's all you've got, but you do have to think about your shoulder, keeping it open and down from your ear. Let's try, my friends. We're getting this dancers out of the way first because it's ugly. I always find this one really hard. Little lift of your left fingers. As you kick your right foot into your right hand, think about extending long between right toes and left fingers. Once you're as long as you can be, then think about lifting up. You can certainly work on squared hips if you wanted to bring your left arm around your low back and try to square your hips. We're holding on here for one more breath, eyes down, maybe 6 feet in front of your toes for the longest of necks. And when you're ready to come back to me, hug your right knee to your chest. Try not to step down, but you take a break if you have to. Little opening, a little closing. We don't even need the arms, do we? Lift up long. You can put the toe down and just swivel here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, find your trig, whether it be toes to floor, under the knee, above the knee. Just try not to use your hands. You don't need that. It is really tempting though, isn't it? When you find a spot, soften your left knee and then push back with your thigh so you find this sturdy base. Belly in, breath continuous. Right arm floats over right thigh. Left arm reaches overhead, side bend. Let your eyes look towards your right fingers. Coming back through the center slowly. Inhale up into your trig. Lean left and let your right leg escape. Find star pose. Stretch long, 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 working on your outer hip mobility. Left hand floats downwards and your eyes follow. When you're ready to exhale, come back to center. Oh, that felt a little less horrible, didn't it? Wasn't so intense because we didn't have dancers at the end. I'm glad we flip-flopped that. Shake out, yogis. We're gonna go for that flow one last time today. One more flip dog on deck. Feel okay? Do you need to windmill your arms? Do you need to backstroke out that shoulder? Okay, we're set. Let's do this with your breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale, finding that delicious forward fold. Hang here for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. We're stepping all the way back, yogis. Right to down dog, so either foot can go first, whichever makes you happy. Find a breath in and out. Coming all the way forward for your plank. Soften down as slowly as you possibly can, being strong in your back body. It's our final back bend of today. Let's see what we can do. Squeezing in towards our spine like we want to give it a kiss on either side. Release when you're ready. Child's pose, big stretch. If you'd like, you can close your knees, walk your hands to the right, let your hips slide to the left. Hands to the left, hips to the right. All right, come on up to your down dog. Now you can just hold down dog. If you're not a flip dog fan, no worries. Remember, yogis, if you want the option this time as you find plank on your knees, your left foot will swivel behind the knee and that'll stay down. Let's all lift our right legs, even if you're in your modified side plank. For my down dog friends, heel to that, knee opens to the right side. Re-extend right leg. And as you bend it this time and start to let it fall to your left, we'll tent our right fingertips. You can stay right here, this feels pretty awesome. Or if you feel like it'll be a good option, land your right foot, lift up, reaching skywards, opening heart, opening your left shoulder down from your ear. Big, beautiful breath in. Eyes down, hands down, right leg lifts again. Find your way back to down dog. So if you landed back in your kneeling plank, please lift up, push back with us. Let's take our feet to the outer edges of our yoga mat and slowly walk our hands back towards our toes, dropping our hips It's another rap song lyric. Drop it like it's hot. My kids probably won't know that one either. We're gonna drop our hips to any depth that feels good. And we've been working a lot on our pelvic floor engagement breath here. Let's try that one more time today. You stay where you are. I'm just gonna come forward so you can see me. As we're in our yogi squat, whether yours is high or down low, we're all good. Think about an inhalation lifting up from your pelvic floor, like your pelvic bones are pulling in towards one another. Now, not pushing out, but just releasing all that work as we exhale. Try that again, lifting up, pulling up. You might have even felt your lower abdominals engage. You might feel yourself sitting a little taller. Good muscle engagement. Don't push out, but release. One more time, just like that. Pull in, feeling supported from the bottom up, feeling buoyant, and release. Well done in yogi squat. However you can get to the mat, please join me. We're gonna have a seat. Sliding our hips way far back or your feet forward, finding a way to get straight, strong legs. Push down on the mat outside your thighs. If it's really far reach for you, make fists and use your knuckles. We want to lift our upper bodies. Stay just as long, but without pushing now. Reach the fingers skywards, and can you hold that beautiful spinal length? Exhale, forward fold. Well done, my friends. Forward folding into surrender. So we're gonna let our toes fall wide. Let our arms be little limp noodles. Tuck chins, hang heavy through the back of your neck. Try another big breath in here. Great for the hamstrings, great for the whole back body. And as you exhale, hands find a way to support you as you lift. We'll take the left knee with us. Right leg stays straight. We're just gonna work on straightening this left leg as we elevate. Now, if it's too challenging for your low back to stay long, bend your right leg. This will give you a little extra boost. You can also push your right hand down on the floor. Now, option also to take your peace fingers, index and middle, and hold on to your left big toe. Wherever we're holding, we want to try to relax our shoulders. Use strong biceps and hands to pull the leg extension in. Stay tall, but open your leg to the left side. Now, this might be one where you have to readjust your bottom leg. We try not to fall back and get lost. We want to sit really tall. So I bent my leg here. And it's kind of hard for me, so I'm going to hold on to the inner foot to push away instead. The peace fingers around big toe are another great option here. Switching hands, taking your leg across your body now, a little IT band stretch. Left arm, if you don't need it to boost you, let's give it a lift to the left side. I just like to look away from my foot in this case. It feels like, for me, it feels like I get a little better stretch when I look towards my left fingers. And since we're twisting, if you tuck your belly in a little bit, you might feel extra stretchability. Come on back to the center, and we're cradling this baby. So you might like to re-extend your leg now, whatever works. Holding on to the foot and the knee, sitting up really tall. Really nice way, if you ask me, to get your hip all readjusted. Put it right back where it belongs. Give it a little snuggle sesh. Then you can also hug tighter. Your elbows do a great job. I find that if I use my elbows, I can sit much more confidently. One more big breath here. Let's take a huge twist before we finish. Putting this foot down, you choose inside or outside of your right thigh. If your leg is bent, it could be in front of your shin. It's all good. Whatever you have is good. Hug with your right arm. Boost up tall. Breathe in. And as you exhale, swivel to your left. If you're feeling a little jammed up, you can definitely release right arm. Bring it outside the thigh. Extra leverage this way too, so you'll definitely get a bigger twist. As you let go, counter twist if it feels good. This one can be really intense. The name is deceiving. It sounds like it'll be something that's just like an but it feels pretty crazy. You're gonna lift your left cheek and swivel all the way to the right, as far as your body wants to go here. Nice move after a big twist into the thigh, because now your belly has space to resort everything. Let your organs be soft. Come back to their positions. All the way back to your butt. And as we bring the legs out, we'll draw right knee in. Left leg nice and long. Just make sure you don't have any flesh under your sits bones. And when you're ready, we can hold anywhere to straighten that right leg. But we're sitting tall, most importantly, because we're not going to do ourselves any good if we're here. So if we can sit really tall, pressing down with the left hand or even keeping the knee bent, that'll be our best bet. Lots of hands, lots of biceps. Elbows can bend as deeply as you need. Shoulders stay way far down from your earlobes. Taking it open to the right side. So just our right hand will do the work here. However the grip feels best. Left arm will open. Now I'm gonna bend my left leg again if you haven't yet. That base will really help you boost tall. Sometimes the grip is the hardest part, figuring out how to hang on to your leg. You can look away from your leg if that feels good, more opening for the inner thigh. And as slowly as you can, we'll switch hands, taking it just slightly across the body. This is a tiny move, but a big sensation, yes? From the outer foot all the way down into your glute med, IT band. I like to open the right hand if you don't need it on the floor and look off to it. Come on back to the center. Hug your right knee in, draw calf towards your chest for cradle to baby. We can sit tall here using our hands. If you need boosting, use your right hand for this leg. If you'd like to scoop a little closer, elbows are best friends with bottom of foot and knee here, the best cradle to baby. And we'll finish in a yummy twist. Well, we're not finishing for everybody. For my crew that needs to leave early, we'll finish. Take a squeeze with your left hand. Swivel open with the right. I'm going to put mine on the floor to help me around this corner. I like to take the left arm over the thigh if that's something that feels good for you. It will definitely enhance your twist. Sitting tall, navel drawing in. Exhaling, eyes to your right. Maybe try one more. Lift through the belly. Exhale, swivel. And the counter twist. We're going to swivel our bodies to the left. Nothing else has to change. Your right cheek will rise to give you the ability to twist. Think about lengthening and then slowly, really slowly, swiveling to your left. Love that one. Take a big belly breath. Exhale, release. All right, come on back to the center. And for my friends who have to leave, it's 1:56. Thank you so much for staying. If you can finish right till 2 p.m. with me, we're going to take the soles of our feet together for now. You choose whether your buns are far from heels or close. It's all good. And then once we feel good, we're going to forward fold, getting a little deeper into our backs here. Once we get forward with a long spine, feel free to surrender like we did to our legs earlier. Round your back, soften your face, your fingers, your shoulders. Just try to snuggle on it. Flowing down towards the end, getting some really lovely stretches. Let's boost on up to seated. I always like to put my hands down and push me. And we'll tuck the left heel closer, right shin in front, or if it's something that feels good or you're working on, ankle can come on top of knee. It's really tough. Double pigeon pose. And some folks will have a like big cross, some are on the calf. Don't ever look at a picture or anyone else and think things have to be a certain way. We come in, we ask our bodies what they need, we feel our way into these postures. I will say if the ankle's crossed over the knee, you might want to flex your foot just so you can keep everything safe in your joints. Scoot your butt back as far as it'll go, and we're going to take that fold. So if this is a big challenge for you, a great way to get deeper into the right knee is by using your outer forearm, not the elbow, that hurts. Use something that's a little fleshy at least, and push on down in there. Let your chin tuck and your head hang if that feels good for you. Might even like to drop in behind closed eyes. If you have longer in your practice allotment for today, this is a really nice place to stay. But to honor your time, I'm going to ask you to rise if you're keeping the schedule with me. We'll lean back and then definitely shake out if you feel like you need it. When you're ready, your right leg will come close, left shin in front or ankle on top. And every time I make an adjustment, I feel like I get a little smush. So we're going to lift our sits bones and walk them back. Maybe if you're crisscrossed knees and ankles, you flex your left foot. Take a breath in. And when you're ready, settle on down. I like to find that sense of surrender that comes into your belly. So often we're gripping, we're rushing, we're panicking, we're stressing, we're anxious. So we have a grip in our stomach that we may not even know we have. Let your belly be soft. How can you breathe without a nice soft belly? Let your head hang and your facial expression get totally chill. And when you're ready to breathe in again, let's lift our heads if they dropped. Plant our hands for the exhalation to help boost us back to seated. Legs uncross and do a little swish, swish. That just feels good. That just clears out that stretch we just did. And then we'll turn the corner for whatever way makes sense to you. Finding your table with tucked toes this time. We'll walk back to a crouch. Knees rise. Thighs rest heavily on the calves. Bonus stretch, a little massage there. And when you feel ready, I don't want to leave, yogis. Let's stay here for another hour. This feels so good. But when you're ready, we'll lift our hips. And we might take that slow little C shape or a round rise through our back. Just something that feels nurturing, really true to you. Oh, that was nice. Once you arrived at the top, my hope is that your wrists, your hips, your hamstrings, all the requests and everything in between feel a little better. Let's shine bright today, yogis, with our newfound energy, strength, coordination, and flexibility. But most importantly, we now have a connection between our body, mind, and breath. So we can sprinkle a little of this goodness that we've gained all throughout our interactions today. My light cherishes you, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.